Hungry rats, man. Hungry rats. All right, boys. Good one for you today. Hybrid Prius. I believe this is either 11 or 12 hybrid Prius V. Okay. So customer complaint is they bought the car in the auction, was not starting, wouldn't turn on. They tried multiple things. They replaced the PCM, which is located right here. Same thing. Once you turn it on, you just hear the fans come on. And they even tried to have a locksmith reprogram the key, and he couldn't do it because he said there was no communication. So I went ahead and put the scanner, and you're gonna see I have no communications with any modules on the high speed, on the CAN network. Basically, CAN is down. So first thing I'm gonna do is check the resistance of the pins across the CAN network, 6 and 14. And then I'm gonna pull out the CAN bus tester, ultimate CAN bus tester on this one, guys. So stay tuned. By the way, this is what it looks like inside. They've been working on it. As you can see, it's all taken apart here and on that side as well. So let's see what's going on. Guys, it looks like I might have already identified the problem. Got our multimeter set onto resistance, right? And on this car, 6 is that black wire, which is CAN high, and then CAN low is white, right? So let me show you CAN low. And if you can see that white wire there, I know there's some sun here, but that white wire right there, that's 6. That's 14 rather. So if we put them together, I'm back probed into the black, which is 6, and then I'm gonna hit 14. And if you can see, CAN high and CAN low is fused together. They're linked right now. So that is the problem. CAN high and CAN low cannot be together like this. So somewhere, now the next problem is identifying where it's at, right? So we're gonna have to probably disconnect a few things and using the ultimate CAN bus tester, probably testing further up the line and see what we can find. All right, customer stepped out. I need to ask some questions about this vehicle, but in the meantime, I went ahead and tried something. Unplug the PCM, right? Okay, it's off. Now we're gonna try that again. Same thing, 6 and 14. And now we got 52.8 with the PCM disconnected, and our short went away. So the PCM is shorted. That's one thing, but we still have another issue, because if the terminating resistor is in the PCM, and there should be one more on the network, so we should be actually reading 120 ohms right now, right? So there's something else going on as well on the network. So we got to pull up the network schematic, find out where the terminating resistors are at, and then we're going to troubleshoot at that next location. All right, for reference, anyone that needs it, this is the PCM pinout as far as CAN, and this is also going to be the junction connector 1. This is the pinout for that as well. So very handy. There was another computer in the back seat, so I went ahead and plugged it up, and now I'm getting 27 ohms. Okay, I'm gonna connect it up. All right, see that? 27.5 ohms now. Crazy. I'm thinking if it's the wiring, so I'm gonna move the PCM cable. Another thing I did when I had the computer disconnected, I tried to do a scan. I still had no communication with any devices on the network without the computer plugged in. So I went ahead and looked in here to see if I could see any kind of pins that might have been damaged, anything. But from what I see, it looks pretty good. And I checked the other one that they had in the back seat, and this one also looks pretty good. It's the model. Okay, customer had a third computer. So this one we just tested, it had 27.2 ohms when it's plugged in, car off, right? And I plugged in the other one, the third one, and I get 27.2 ohms. And of course, the original one that's plugged into the car there is the CAN bus circuit is grounded on that PCM. So these two having the same reading, I also believe there's an issue on the CAN bus network as well, somewhere else, another module possibly. But it's kind of confirmed that since these two donors are acting the same and that one is grounding, that one original one, to me at this point, has an issue and possibly another module on the network. So I need to get more details on the network topology of this vehicle, and then we're going to continue. All right, this is basically showing you all the devices on the network. So we got these up here in the front, we got this one in the rear for the battery system. The steering angle sensor is in the steering wheel. As you can see, the cluster and different modules. So this is just going to be a reference in case somebody's going to want to know where these devices are, locations. So I've got locations of all of this, so you can pause it as you need. Right. Here's another one that's very important. You can pause this as you need, but we're going to definitely find this CAN #1 junction connector and go there. As you can see, it breaks out a lot of the modules right there on that connector, and you're going to see each one here where they are, so you can pause as you need. There's also a #2 connector. This is going to show you where they're at. Just want to make sure there's documentation on there. Somebody's going to need it. On the PCM, shows you where it's at. We're going to go there too and test it. Everything you're going to need to test, we got it right here, guys. Click that thumbs up button, guys. Yeah, pretty long. This breaks down every module on the network. That's it. All right, back at the car. If you saw the documentation, the PCM, this connector here, is where the CAN bus is, and it will be at these two that I have the wires in right now. And I'm going to go ahead and test that. I've actually already done, and I'm getting 120, which is good. That's what I should get. I don't know where the two resistors are located, but if I had to guess, I just kind of skimmed through the documentation. If I was a betting man, I would say the PCM, because it said when it's disconnected, you should get around 120, which means that would leave one resistor on the network. Remember, there are two resistors on the network at 120 ohms each. Once they're both together, it'll drop you down to 60 ohms, right? So with this disconnected, I'm getting 120, and the documentation also said with the cluster disconnected, you'll get 120 at the connector. So that leads me to believe the two resistors are in the PCM and in the cluster, right? So here's what I see. 120 here. So what I'm going to go ahead and do with these two PCMs I've got here, I'm actually going to test the same pins here on the PCM, and I should get 120, right? And I'm also going to test it on the PCM that was grounded in the network and see if I get 120, which I doubt. It's probably going to ground. If it does ground, it 100% confirms that that PCM is defective. But there might also be a wiring issue somewhere inside of the car, because at the DLC, I don't believe I was getting 120. I should be getting 120 at the DLC, just like I'm getting right here. So I'm going to go inside also and check and see if I'm getting 120 at the OBD port. Okay, I tested the PCM at the original PCM, and I'm getting 123 ohms, 120 ohms at the PCM. I came back in here just to test, and I'm getting 120 ohms right now, which is correct. So what I'm going to do is leave the PCM disconnected right now that the ohms reading is good, and see if I can now communicate with any devices. Okay, I went ahead and hooked up the ultimate CAN bus tester, turned the ignition on, original PCM hooked up, and the voltages are pulling down very low. So what I'm going to go ahead and do is unplug it while it's still running like this and see if I see a difference. And then we've got the other PCMs to plug into and see. We can always as well connect up right here and see if we can communicate with the rest of the car as well. By the way, this is the prototype model. Yours, if you order this, link in the description. Looks much better, very quality product. You're gonna love it. All right, this is the actual real documentation for this model car. I'm gonna get into it further on in the video, but this is where the CAN connectors are located at and the pinouts. Okay guys, I'm pissed. See that voltage looking really good right now? Yeah. What I ended up doing, the first diagram I got, I pulled it off of Identifix. It's completely wrong for this vehicle. I don't even know why. I don't even want to research why. I was just pissed. I went ahead and pulled it from all data, and it shows different connections, everything that pretty much matches up to this car. So I'm digging up under here looking for the CAN 1 junction connection for like 30-45 minutes. And then in the end, when I decided to look on all data, I found it. And you see that blue connector sitting up there? Right there, that's in the air, that's CAN 1, junction connector 1 right there. And as soon as I unplugged it, as you can see, I've got normal CAN voltage right there, okay? So that tells me there's a problem on one of those devices on that bus. So I'm gonna now track down on that bus and see what's on there and see if we can eliminate it. CAN bus tester had the PCM, is showing nothing. I'm gonna go ahead and connect the PCM up and see what we get. I went ahead and plugged up the PCM, and now those voltages look pretty good. On the CAN high, you see we're getting close to, what is that, about 3? A little bit over 1.5 on CAN low. I'm gonna go ahead and connect my scanner up here now, and let's see what we get. So good voltages here with the scanner hooked up. Let me connect up. Let's see if I can now communicate with the PCM since it's plugged in. Fans are on high, on by the way. All right, we're gonna select Toyota. All right, let's see. I believe we should have communication now because I believe the offending module is not the PCM. We would have probably a bad signal right now. So we're gonna select that. That other, and bam, we got the VIN number, guys. We're communicating right now with the PCM. So now we need to track down the other devices on CAN 1 junction block and see which one of those is the one that's actually causing it. Guys, it looks like the only other major device on this network that leads from CAN connector 1 is the brake cylinder master whatever skid control ECU. Dude, go back to my old videos from 2 years ago. I told y'all, it's always the ABS module that'll bring down the car every single time. Basically, it's the ABS module, this thing right here, right? I'm gonna disconnect this, plug it back, and let's see if we get the car to start and everything. Hungry rats, man, hungry rats. Let's see. Okay. All right, boys, unplugged. We had to pull all this junk out. You saw there was some activity going on there. And we've got good CAN bus voltage at the PCM. Good sign. So now I'm going to put my scanner now inside, and let's see what we get. Okay, guys, I actually was not getting communication with the actual PCM. It's working, guys. It's working, man. I told you. Hey, you got the best here, man. Yeah, so I wasn't getting communication with the PCM. So what I went ahead and did was disconnect the PCM and connecting one of the replacement PCMs, and as you can see, it started right up. I went to the front with the CAN bus tester, and I was not getting a signal. Yeah, man, that's it.
What the fuck is wrong?
Hey, man, I'm telling you, you got the best here. The doctor, man, the auto electric god, man. You ain't gonna fail with me.
Man, they
So-
told me, Harun
Yeah,
told
I
me he
swear,
fixed.
my friend. He
Yeah,
said,
he fixed Mercedes. He said bullshit. So he fixed it by himself.
what's
Yeah.
wrong?
So basically, this thing is bad, and it brought down the whole system. Yeah.
What about
So
that one?
replacement
You have to
computer is
replace
good. Yeah, you got to replace that.
Man, too much headache.
All right, guys. That was a fix, man. So basically, it was the ABS module, and also the PCM was defective. So my first initial guess was correct on the PCM, and also the ABS module, of course, as you've seen, once it was disconnected, that was the other module that was bringing down the network. Click that thumbs up button, guys. Link in the description. Check out the Ultimate CAN bus test. As you can see, it destroys these type of problems. And if you're not subscribed, subscribe to the channel. You definitely want to check out the members areas, man. We got a lot of tools, different things. We got 12 terabytes of storage coming up, guys. And we gonna fill it up, of course. You know that, right? So like I said, like and subscribe, and see you guys on the next one.